Welcome back to YouTube viewers. It's your boy Summer16, and as you can tell, I've got a sweatshirt on compared to my most videos. I mean, honestly, right now, I could have a regular shirt and it would be just fine, but I kind of, as you can tell, my voice is kind of grunted, as you would say, most people would say. I have a small cold, just a sore throat, and I'm a little congested. But other than that, I'm not coughing a whole lot or really bad off. And I decided to go through the pain and share with you guys another video. Now, in this video, we're going to be talking about obviously, as you can see, I got my rod out here, fishing. But today we have a bit of a surprise. And as you can tell, it's a little chilly. I got my sweatshirt on. Fall is coming around. Now, I've talked a little bit about the different type of fish I like to catch. Bass, bluegill, crappie, any of the panfish, any of the predatory fish. But my favorite of all time fishing is to catch catfish in the fall. Reason being is because when the weather gets cool but not freezing, catfish, they light up, man. They go crazy. As a matter of fact, the world record down in, I think, Florida, caught a 251-pound catfish. I'm pretty sure right off the bank in winter. So that shows you that a lot of catfish can be caught during cold season. Now, I have my stuff already laid out, so the actual tying of this rig, which is what this video is going to be about. I'm going to be tying my catfish rigs. Now, there are two different catfish rigs I like to do. One is where I don't put any weight on it at all, and that's mostly for like lakes when the water is very still. But if I go, let's say, like to the Ohio River or Taylorsville Lake, where there's a bunch of people running boats all the time and the water's all like moving a lot, that's when I would like to use a weight. And that's the one I'm going to be tying for you today, because you never know when you're going to go somewhere and need a weighted rig. It can happen anytime. So that's what we're going to be tying today, and now I'm going to show you how to tie it and get a close-up, so that way you not can only see how to tie it better, but also I can talk a little bit about the materials I'm going to use. Welcome back, YouTube viewers. Today we are going to be tying our setup. Now, what we're going to be using today is I'm going to rig up the smaller weighted one. Now, this one is for like the slow but still moving rivers, like the Licking River, which is down near Falmouth, I'm pretty sure. And today what we're going to be using is, let me see if I can find this. I have a 1 ounce, I'm going to be using my 1 ounce weight, and I'm going to be using a sort of small but sort of decent sized hook. I actually don't know all the sizes of all my hooks. I got them in a variety pack, but this is what we're going to be using to tie our rig today. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull out some slack line from my rod here, and we are basically going to make this a sliding sinker. We're going to let it slide. Usually what I'll do if I'm in a hurry is I will go through the weight. I'll go through the weight a couple of times. I just dropped my line there. I'll go through the weight a couple of times and not let it sink, which I really like doing that, but the only problem is if you get it on something, you know, it ain't going to stuck on something, you ain't going to be able to really get it off. That's why I like to pull it, and it also allows you to have a good, like, you could adjust the length of your distance between your weight and your hook. So we are going to now make sure that this weight does not get off of the line or down to the hook. Now, what I do to do that is basically I tie a knot. And there's tons of different knots you can tie, but this is just a redneck one that I rigged up myself. And basically all I do is make a loop. You can see that loop. Pull my line through the loop, and then I just cinch it down decent. Then, carefully, I make another loop, and I just keep doing this until I have a big enough knot to keep that weight where I want it. And it doesn't take a bunch of these, only a couple. The only problem with doing it this way is you run a bigger risk of like you getting that caught on something and then it's snapping, and then you lost your weight. But the cool thing about this is, see, now I could hold that straight up and it won't go down past that spot. And then it has free sliding ability, and that gives you plenty of that gives you tons of flexibility with your rig. Then what I do is I basically just tie on my hook, which there's tons of ways you can tie on this hook. You can, but my favorite way is, I think it's called the clinch knot. I'm not sure. I'll look it up and see what it's called, and then I'll leave a link in the I'll post it down in the description. But basically, all you do is wrap your line about. All you do is grab it. This is an easy way I found to do it, and just grab the hook and start twisting. And the more twists, the better. Oops. Well, came undone for me. But that's basically how you do it. Let me try to get it off camera here, and I'll twist this up. Okay, so now that we have it all twisted, you're going to want to take the tag end. Oh my gosh, this ain't working. And basically just put it back through the eye of the hole, if it'll let me. Grab it, take your main line, pull the tag in until you get about, I like to go between like half inch to a quarter to a half inch away from the hook, and then you just grab the hook and start pulling. And there, you have a nice hook tied. Now, as you can see, I kind of did this a decent length away from the actual split knot where the sinker goes down to, which is really good for multiple reasons. To just give you a general idea of what this does, is you have your sliding sinker right here, and it can slide up and down the thing, and then it actually gives you, I actually tied it a super long way, not where I really wanted it, but it actually gives you a super long, that allows you to adjust your distance. And honestly, if I were to reel this up really quickly, just out of curiosity. Oh, it's caught. No wonder I can't do it like that. Okay. And it's caught again. Sheesh. The problem is I haven't used this rod in a really long time, and it really wants to. But see, now I have this all ready to go. A sliding sinker, a super long piece of string. So I can give it closer to the camera. You have your sliding sinker, and it can slide. And then you have super long string, and then you have your catfish hook. Now, let me scoot up here and sort of give you a general idea of my different, and see, it's the perfect length because the sliding sinker is in between these two these two holes on my thing, and then all the way down my hook's right here. So it's the perfect distance. I usually use my rod as a reference because it's the perfect distance. Now if I were to slide up here closer to the camera, I'll give you a bit of a showcasing of my other catfish hooks and equipment. I also, on top of the 1 ounce, I have these 1.5 ounce sinkers. Now these are for like really tough water, like the Ohio River. That's what that is. I also have some catfish bells. I really like the catfish bells because they really help. And and that's part of the reason I like the sliding sinker, because like letting sinkers slide. And the reason being is because there's 2 reasons I like letting a sinker slide, and I'll show you those reasons right now. So let me let my line out. If you like fishing with bells, which I love fishing with bells, because you can literally let your catfish rod sit there, and then you can go off at a good distance, because these are very loud bells. You can go off, hang out with your friends and family, because I usually fish when we're camping, so I can set my rod out, and then I can go over, we can make lunch and stuff, and eat, drink with our friends and family. And then when I can just hear the bell going off and thinking, oh well, guys, gotta go get my catfish. And here's the reason why I like using sliding sinkers, for that reason. If you were to firm this into the thing, when the catfish tried to pull it, it would feel the resistance of, well, first off, it would feel the resistance of the weight and let go of the bait. Secondly, the bait would be causing drag and not letting the line pull on your tip here. Which, there are benefits to firming it up, which I will talk about those later. But if it's firm, then it's causing drag, and your rod tip won't be like, if a catfish has really got it, it won't be going like that, like super crazy. Because of the weight, it'll just be going like, and you won't be able to tell that a catfish you need to set the hook. So that's why I like using letting the sinker slide like that, because if it slides, when the catfish pulls on the line, because it does the very rapid head shakes, it'll go it'll just slide right through the line, and then you have your rod going crazy. So that's it for this time, YouTube viewers. But next time, either next time I'll have my reeler, another reeler from my other rod, and I'll show you my other rig up. And it's basically similar to the same one, but a little different. And we'll talk about that in the next video. But that's it for this time. Join in next time, and hopefully I will not only be showing you how to tie a rig, but hopefully I will have showing you down at a riverbank somewhere and have a catfish rod in, and we can get a catfish real quickly. But that's all, YouTube viewers. Join in next time.